Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of PondBassmaster. Today we're going to be talking about and answering the question, what's a search bait? Alright guys, so the first search bait that I'm going to tell you guys about is a square bill crankbait. What I'm going to say for all these search baits is the reason it's a good search bait is because you can work it fast and you can cover a lot of water. This is going to excel in rocks and especially in clear water. I prefer to fish a silent square bill crankbait because I feel like when you're fishing a square bill crankbait, it's mainly triggering reaction strikes. And if a bass hears a rattle of a normal square bill crankbait that has rattles in it, from far away it's gonna go look at it and then it's gonna see, oh, it looks kind of, it looks a little shady, it's not gonna bite it, so it's just gonna let it go. However, if it's silent like this one, it's silent, they're not gonna hear it, especially in murky water, and then all of a sudden they're gonna see this flash of movement run right past them, and they're gonna go and they're gonna, inhale that bait. So now I'm gonna show you guys what I like to fish a square bill crankbait on. Alright guys, so when I'm fishing a square bill crankbait, I like to throw it on a 7-foot medium. This is more of like a medium heavy in my mind. It's a pretty heavy action medium rod. It's a Halo Fishing Twilight series. I don't know if these are discontinued, but I really like this rod. It's red and black. I got it on sale for Tackle Warehouse during the 25 days of Christmas. And the reel I have is a Quantum Octane. It looks cheap because it is cheap. It's a cheap plastic reel. I plan to upgrade it, but for right now, I actually really like this reel. It casts really great. I have 12-pound fluorocarbon on here, and the gear ratio is 6:2:1. When I'm fishing a square bill crankbait, I like a little bit higher gear ratio than your typical crankbait reels, like 5:4:1. I like to up it to that 6, with the first number of 6. So 6.2:1 is my favorite square bill crankbait gear ratio, and this is my setup for square bills. Alright guys, so the next two kind of go together. My personal favorite and the second search bait I'm going to show you guys is a chatterbait. Now this kind of goes hand in hand with a spinnerbait. I prefer a chatterbait over a spinnerbait because I feel like you can fish it a little bit faster. However, if you are in clear water, I'd take a spinnerbait over a chatterbait. Anyways, the reason spinnerbaits and chatterbaits are wonderful search baits and my favorite is because you can fish them fast and you can cover a lot of water with them, like for all search baits. But the reason why I like this one the best is because I fish a lot of submerged grass. A chatterbait excels in submerged grass. Also, I fish a lot of, stained, murky water. So a chartreuse and white chatterbait like this is probably the best search bait I have found to be. Now, if you're fishing clear water and you don't really have any confidence in spinnerbaits, but you really want to fish a chatterbait, I would recommend either getting a chatterbait that comes stock with a matte black blade on it, or sharpening the blade, because especially in clear water, if there's a shad going through the water, it's not going to give off a ton of flash. It is going to give off a little bit of flash, but the chatterbait gives off a lot more flash than some people think. So if you're fishing clear water, sharpie the blade. Alright guys, so the second rod and reel combo that I like to use for a search bait is different than the first one. This is an Ardent Denny Brauer Pro Series spinnerbait rod. It's a 7'2" medium heavy, really strong backbone, but it has a really sensitive tip. It's a great rod. It's specifically made for spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, swim jigs, that kind of thing. It has a really nice long split grip handle. Personally, this is my favorite kind of handle because you can grip your reel up top and then have your bottom hand down here to get really extra long casts. The reel I have it paired with is an Ardent Apex Tournament. It's Ardent's lower end reel. It retails at only $100, so it's a really good price. If you use my coupon code, I believe it's TC252016, you can get 25% off, so this reel will only be $75. I have that paired up with 40-pound gliss. If you guys don't like gliss or if you've never tried gliss, 30 to 40-pound braid works great as well, especially for chatterbaits. But this is my chatterbait setup, so let's get on to the next search bait. So the next search bait is probably the most well-known search bait in the world that I know of. It's a very close second to the chatterbait. The only reason I would pick the chatterbait over lipless crankbaits is because the chatterbait's a little bit more weedless. There's two brands that I really like to use when it comes to lipless crankbaits, or search baits for lipless crankbaits. And that's a Strike King Red Eye Shad. There's actually a couple different kinds of Strike King Red Eye Shads. The regular ones are great, but if you have a little bit more cash, invest in the Tungsten 2-Tap, especially if you're fishing pressured waters. That little different pitch tone can actually make a lot of difference in pressured waters. The two ones I like are the Strike King Red Eye Shad and the Bill Lewis Rattle Trap, the classic. This thing has the classic side-to-side action. However, this is what I prefer when I'm burning a crankbait. When I'm yo-yoing or doing a moderate retrieval, I'd really rather go with the Strike King one. However, they're both really good, and these are going to excel in light grass, so like small patches of grass that you can rip these through. Really good for murky water, really good for clear water if you use a more natural color. But if you're getting one for your first time, I'd recommend some kind of craw color. So the setup for my lipless crankbaits is the same as my square bills. Again, a little bit faster gear ratio than your typical crankbaits, and that's because I really like to burn lipless crankbaits. It's my favorite way to fish them. I'll put a link in the cards if I remember to. I'll put a link in the cards. I think it's up here. Where a video, I believe in October, it was my most recent fishing video. About that, I'm going to have more fishing videos to come. It's supposed to snow like 4 inches tomorrow. Just when I thought it was going to get warmer out, it got cold again. So we'll see if the ice opens up soon. But, again, faster gear ratio reel. Same action, 7-foot medium. It has enough backbone to rip through the grass, but it has enough tip to feel when you have a little bit of grass and you need to rip it off. And that can cause some reaction strikes as well. So that's my setup for lipless crankbaits. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I know these sit-down tips and tricks videos are probably getting a little boring. I'm going to try to do some more vlogs. I might do another trip to Bass Pro. I'm going to have some unboxings soon. My birthday's coming up, so I'm going to get some stuff when it comes to that. Also, my shirts. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Maybe if you follow me on Instagram, at PondBassmaster TV. If you've tuned into some of my live streams, you may know this. I'm coming out with some apparel. I'll put the logo for the apparel like up here somewhere. It looks really sick. I'm going to be doing a pre-order soon for long sleeve shirts. It's going to be a lightweight performance shirt, so similar to your Nike and Under Armour brand long sleeve shirts. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I'm going to try to get some vlogs and fishing videos out soon. Like I said, it's supposed to snow tomorrow. I don't know if we'll have school or not. But anyways, guys, hit that thumbs up. Really means a lot. Comment below. I love seeing your guys' comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.